Okay, so so we start out with this worksheet, which is similar to the ones we saw in the last chapter, but all we've got filled in is total cost. So in class, I like to hand this one out, and I give different people different ones at different prices. It is a whole lot easier when you do it in Excel because you don't have to do as much. So the first thing it asks us to fill in is fixed cost. Now this is going off of, if I can find it here, there was another handout that had a thing about Fran's earrings here. She makes earrings at a craft show, and she's got beads, pins, and wires. And they give you just kind of her total cost in there is what they have. Her total cost when she makes a certain number of earrings. And then they ask you to calculate what we see here in this Excel sheet, which is fixed cost, variable cost, average total, average variable, and then the marginal cost, all right? So by definition, the fixed costs are the ones that you have even if you don't produce anything. So whatever their total cost is at an output of 0, that's your fixed cost. And it's the definition is that's your fixed cost regardless of how many you make. So we can just take that fixed cost and copy it the whole way down. No matter what, my fixed cost is going to be total cost at 0 output. Okay, that's the very definition of fixed cost. Variable cost, fixed and variable together have to equal total. So if I know my total and I know my fixed, I can just subtract those. So total cost minus fixed cost is going to be my variable. So I can just do a little formula here rather than, so I'm going to take B4 minus C4, and I get 0, which makes sense at an output of 0. Copy that down, and now this has figured out my variable cost for me. So it's just the total cost minus the fixed cost. So the fixed cost is $1, so I'm going to take my total cost minus $1, and that gives me my variable cost. Now we want average variable cost, which is, or average total cost here, sorry, which is just going to be total cost divided by the output, the quantity. And so I can take the total cost, which is right here, divided by the output. Well, you can't divide by 0, so we won't put anything for that one. But here, oops, sorry. There. So for this one, I'm going to take the total cost divided by the output. So I will take B5 divided by A5. Oops, doesn't like that one, sorry. B5 divided by A5, is that what I wrote? Oh, I forgot the divided by. There. And you know, you don't have to do this in Excel. I love Excel, so I'll do everything in Excel if I can. But you're just, it's the same math. You know, you're just, I'm just cheating and doing it once instead of doing it for every single one. But you can do them all. And so just copy that down. But every single time, I'm just going to be dividing the total cost divided by the output. Now in this one, it's average variable cost. So I'm going to take the variable cost divided by the output. So I will take the variable cost is right here in column D. So I will take D5 divided by the output is A5. Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell it I wanted that to be a formula. And then, so in each case, I'm going to take the variable cost here in D divided by the output here in A. So if I copy that down to save myself some time, here's my average variable cost. Now the marginal cost is the change in total cost divided by the change in the output, right? So change in total cost divided by change in output. So how much did my total cost? So we're going to go here. When I went from 0 to 1, how much did my total cost go up? So what I'm really just going to do is subtract this number from the one before it, this number from the one before it. And really you'd be dividing by this change too, but since that's going up by 1, I'm just going to kind of skip that one. So I'll take this one minus the one before it. So output went up by 150. And so if I copy that down, like that, that shows me the change in total cost divided by the change in the output for each one. So that was the first step in this, is to fill in all of the costs, the average, variable, marginal costs we have. I'm going to copy that over here. The next thing is marginal revenue, total revenue, and profit. So marginal revenue, because this is perfect competition, the marginal revenue is just the price. And so in this case, I have one for each. They give you 3 different prices in that worksheet. What happens if it's $1.80? What happens if it's $1? What happens if it's 25 cents? And so the price, though, because this is perfect competition, the price is always just going, the marginal revenue is always going to be the price. So in this case, that's $1.80. And I will just copy that down the whole way down. Oops, there. Now, the total revenue is going to be the number of units you sell. Well, actually, I guess it's same thing there. I don't know if we really need it there. The total revenue is going to be the price per unit that you get times the number of units you sell. So it's just going to be the price here, the marginal revenue, which is H, times the output. So for this one, that's the marginal revenue, times the output. And so it's 0. If I don't sell anything, I don't have any revenue. If I copy that guy down, so if I sell 1, I make $1.80. If I sell 2, my total revenue is $3.60. If I sell 4, my revenue is $5.40. So this is just price times output. And then my profit is my total revenue minus my total cost, right? And I have both of those. Here's my total revenue, and right here is my total cost. So if I take total revenue minus total cost, if I don't sell anything, I lose $1, which is my fixed costs. And if I copy that guy down, there's all my revenues. Now, we can look at this a couple different ways. We can, because we only have like 9 different things here, we don't have a lot going on. We can look here and see that 4 is my highest profit. That's the best she could do. But the other important thing we can look at here is we're looking at marginal cost and marginal revenue. And we want to, marginal cost, remember, is going to go down and then go back up. And generally, we want to pick it back on the way back up again. And we can see right here at a quantity of 6, let's do that. My marginal cost is $1.60 and my marginal revenue is $1.80. I want my marginal revenue to be higher. If I were to go up to producing 7 of them, then my marginal revenue is still $1.80, but it would cost me $1.90 to do that. So I wouldn't make as much money. So the point where marginal revenue and marginal cost are the closest, but marginal revenue is still higher, is going to be your maximum profit. So that's the case at $1.80. If $1.80 is, and you could do the same thing on a graph, but you find where marginal cost equals marginal revenue, and that's how many to produce. So you do the same thing if the price is $1, and then here's the beauty. All the costs are going to be the same. It's just the revenue and that's going to change, and therefore the profit. But we can look at a couple different things here. Also, if we look at the average, the average variable cost right here, we can see, let's make you blue. This lowest point on the average variable cost curve here is 84 cents. That's basically her shutdown point. So as long as the price stays above 84 cents, she should continue to produce even if she's losing money. If, however, the price goes below 84 cents, she'd be better off shutting down. So that's our shutdown rule from the other one. So I'm gonna just kind of, we don't need those to be read. I'm going to copy down the stuff with the cost here because this is all the same. See what I mean? Like it saves you a ton of time if you do it in Excel. And then here, the revenue is $1. If the price drops down to $1, it says, what should she do? And so if we copy that guy down, now these formulas are the same. And so it's still the price times the output is going to give you the total revenue. Okay. And so if she sells one, she makes $1. If she sells two, she makes $2, like that. And then here's my profit, where I'm subtracting the total revenue minus the total cost. Now, if we look at this, look, they're all negative. She cannot make money, okay? But we see another important thing here, and that is we said up here that 84 cents is her lowest point on her average cost curve, right? That's her shutdown point. $1 is still above that. So according to this one, if she shut down and didn't make anything, she would lose $1. But we can look here. We go back to our friends marginal revenue and marginal cost. Those are right here. So at this point, which is a production of 5, her marginal revenue is $1 and her marginal revenue is 70 cents. If she would produce the next one, number 6, her marginal revenue is still $1, but now her marginal cost is higher. So that doesn't make sense. So this one really here, 20 cents, is her loss minimizing thing. So if she were, even though none of these make money, if she shuts down, she loses $1. If she produces 5, she only loses 20 cents. So as long as she's stuck with that fixed cost, that's her best option here. Whereas on this one, she should, what do we say? She should produce 4, right? So this is her best option if the price is $1.80. The price drops down to $1, she'd be better off producing 5. But losing 20 cents is better than losing $1, so that's why she doesn't shut down. But if we go up to the next one here, I mean, when the price drops down to 25 cents in the next scenario, so we copy that guy, put him there. You don't need to be highlighted right now. And then the price is 25 cents. And we should know by this point that she'd be better off shutting down if it's 25 cents because that's below even her minimum average variable cost. And so we can just kind of copy these guys still down here. So total revenue is still going to be the price times the number of units she makes. So let me take that off. If she makes 1, she earns 25 cents. If she makes 2, she earns 50 cents. If she makes 3, she earns 75 cents. So here's her loss. And we can see here, here's her best loss, right? The best she can do is to lose $1, and that's if she shuts down. And that's, again, because this price is below this minimum average total cost or average variable cost. So she can't even cover her variable cost, then she needs to shut down. So that's basically kind of how this one works. And if that, I really think this is one of those worksheets where you need to do it yourself in order for it to make sense. So if you watched me do this and you hadn't done it on your own, I feel like you really need to do it, not just watch it, for it to make sense. So I'm going to stop the recording.